reach disadvantage tonight against Shamar Williams, the 0-1 fighter, and Lucas DaCosta making that pro debut. Let's take it to Nivens for the introduction.
This bout is brought to you by Tint Master, helping all the good people of Kansas City do it in the dark for over 50 years. Fighting out of the blue corner, Shamar Williams. And fighting out of the red corner, Lucas DaCosta. Let's make some noise.
It's just one of those fights, Jeff, where you just don't know what to expect from either fighter. They're both going to come out pretty hot, though.
Yeah, like you mentioned, we're now in the pro section of the card. These are 5-minute rounds, not 3 minutes. And yes, those 2 minutes make a big difference when it comes to a fist fight.
Both fighters taking the center of the cage as we start round number 1. Early entry by Shamar Williams, and he gets the takedown on Lucas DaCosta early.
Good level change. No telegraph there, immediately got to the hips, and way to finish.
The power being shown off by Shamar Williams early. DaCosta, no stranger to being on his back, but the 5 minutes, we'll see how long he's able to hang out here.
DaCosta immediately looking for an armbar, but way to follow the hips for Williams. He was able to land a couple good shots. The reason he was able to land those shots from this top position was because DaCosta isn't breaking his posture like he's doing now. He has to grab the head. Anytime the posture's not broken, he's able to land some big shots.
Good start here for Shamar Williams. Just taking the debuting fighter, putting him down, banking some control time here early. DaCosta's going to have to get active off that in that guard.
Yeah, here we see him fishing for submissions, triangle arm bars. The problem with that, especially as you get higher up in the pro level, is people are weary of these submissions. So instead of looking for subs, you need to be looking to create space. So use the submission to create space, look to get up.
He's getting close to the fence here, Jeff, so we'll see if he's able to utilize the fence to help him get back up.
And that's a great move, is using that fence. You can be an Olympic wrestler. The second you put a cage in there, the whole game changes. Cage wrestling is very different.
That's Shamar doing a good job. He's wrapping those legs up of DaCosta and trying to control him right there.
Good leg lace. Khabib made this famous, right?
Yeah.
For MMA fighters. He really used that to his advantage.
DaCosta is up.
Williams made the mistake of going for a front naked, also known as a ninja choke, as DaCosta was getting up, and to no avail, and DaCosta was able to get up.
And DaCosta is no stranger to adversity as well. He's been in a lot of, tough situations at times, but he's always in the fight, and he can win essentially at any given mistake of his opponent.
And that early takedown from Williams has to keep DaCosta thinking of, anytime I come forward, I might be in a grappling exchange and get taken down again, like we just saw there.
Yeah, excellent level change again by Shamar Williams. Lucas back up to his feet for now. He's fighting the hands of Shamar Williams. Going to try to break loose here. Getting that Kimura grip on the left arm of Shamar Williams right here. Using it to initiate some offense.
When fishing for Kimura, you do need some sort of leg control to control a hip. So if he decides to commit to this, he will need to hook his leg around Shamar's.
He's back to fighting hands. Shamar readjusting his position and dropping level again very
Goes
quickly.
for an ankle pick. Now hands are about to be locked. DaCosta's about to go for a ride.
There he is. He's down. As you said, Jeff, Shamar Williams in the driver's seat here early in round number 1. Or a little late in round number 1, as we just have under 2 minutes to go.
DaCosta doing the right things here. Gluing his hip to the fence to prevent a back take, and now uses it to get up.
Yep, taking instruction from his coach. Trey Ogden is Lucas DaCosta. And Shamar Williams right now showing off the power and strength in the grappling realm.
Here we hear DaCosta's corner imploring him to not look for the Kimura anymore. He's being neutralized by Williams, and the control is happening from Williams. So instead, dig for an underhook and look to get out. Circle your hips and look to break free from this.
Yeah, trying to jack that elbow up of the right arm of Shamar Williams. break him out of this position. He's going to try to turn and face him here. He does. Gets the underhook, throws a knee, creates the space, and it looks like he's out. We'll see if he decides to disengage from this position.
Good knee from Costa there. Just trading knees in this clinch position. And now we're back in the striking range.
All right, a little bit of everything here in round number 1.
And Costa has to watch those little blitzes where he leads with his head. That's how he was caught against Peter Lucet, and it's just dangerous when you do that. Anytime you put your shoulders in front of your hips, you're off balance. So if you get hit, it's that car crash effect.
And that right hand just missed from Williams when he did that.
I'm interested to see what the grappling does to both these fighters. Who wears the impact of the grappling more?
Absolutely. Good right hand counter by Shamar Williams.
Costa misses with what looked like an axe kick. And Shamar counters back with a beautiful right hand that pushes the head back.
Good round so far from the out-of-town guy, Shamar Williams. As we'll take the replay, there's that beautiful level change that we saw early in round number 1. Took down Costa, controlled him there for a bit, slammed him again shortly after, and there's the cage work that we saw from Shamar Williams. They break loose. Costa says, let's go. There were some fight stats for you. 16 strikes.
16-4 for Shamar Williams.
See a lot of control time, good grappling from Shamar Williams.
And Williams was able to use this grappling to neutralize Costa and just gain some control time. Costa does need an answer for the grappling. And to not feel rushed with the striking just because you were pushed against the fence for a minute or two, you have to just be patient in the striking. The second you start rushing things is the second you get caught.
And we'll see who the fresher fighter is. Like you said, Jeff, it's going to play a big factor here in this one, our feature fight of the night. And he's Costa looking to initiate some of his own grappling. Breaks off. Big right hand offered by Shamar Williams. Looked to just miss and be out of the range.
The way he set that up was a jab to the body, and that puts all that weight onto your rear side so he can load up a big right hand as he barely misses there with that right straight.
Very close. Goes down low to the body with the right hand.
I would like to see Costa just try to touch him. Just try not to hit hard. With 4-ounce gloves on, you really don't have to hit hard. You just have to hit him. You have to be accurate. It doesn't take much to hurt somebody with those gloves on.
Yeah, gonna look to get the striking going for Costa. So he's had some low kicks early.
As Shamar is loading up on these strikes, I'd like to see Costa just pop a jab out, pop a cross out.
Yeah, another blitzing attack from Shamar Williams right there.
But I think the power of Shamar Williams has Costa a little tentative.
He's very explosive, is Shamar Williams.
I meant tentative, not attentive. But I think it just has him a little weary of the power coming at him. He doesn't want to get caught. He has suffered a knockout before. But he needs to change something. He needs some volume.
Big right hand just misses. There's a jumping switch kick attempt by Lucas Costa there that was out of range of Shamar Williams.
There, like that jab right there. You have Shamar loading up on these big hooks. Let's put something in between it.
There's Costa with the gamesmanship, acknowledging the low kick. It's all right. Let's go. Stumbled Shamar Williams. Hit him with the head kick on the way down.
Which is perfectly legal. The knee wasn't on the mat yet. But Shamar immediately shoots it for the takedown, turns the corner beautifully, ends up on top here.
That just ended up working out for Shamar Williams. He's getting on top right there, just taking advantage of the maybe overzealous Lucas Costa at that time, and is on top, back in the driver's seat in round number 2.
Finds himself here on bottom side. Costa giving up his back to attempt to get up. Beautiful wrist trap by Shamar Williams.
Lucas Costa is up to 1 foot right now. He's able to get up to both of his feet. He's going to go to the cage.
Lucas using that cage as leverage. Digging your head into that cage to try to fight these hands. That's a great idea.
Trying to get Shamar Williams off of him is Lucas Costa.
He's able to dig his underhook. He's going to get out. If I'm Lucas Costa, I'm disengaging.
can hear his coach calling for that outside trip. They're trying to get his fighter on top, maybe on the grappling exchanges. He's going for it.
And he's going for that outside trip, but you need to get your opponent tall before going for that. If your opponent has a good base, you're not going to get it, as we see Shamar Williams get his own trip, end up here on top, looking to put a hook in.
Yep, Costa once again popping right back up off of that takedown.
Good on Costa to prevent any hooks from being put in, and now he's back up on his feet, fighting hands. Where he spent most of the first round was fighting hands here against this fence.
Some knees to the leg of Costa.
And here he finds his underhook. He needs to scoot his butt towards the underhook.
Well, a minute 20 left in round number 2.
And just didn't have a wizard on the other side of the underhook, and now gives his back up towards Shamar. He was 90% out, and then the fact that he had no wizard just put him back into the loop that Shamar's been able to keep him in.
Yep, you see Costa trying to get the underhook of the elbow again.
And this has to be frustrating for Costa.
And that would look to be, a little mistake by Williams. Tried to change his level again, but Costa was ready for the first time that happened. He was ready again here. He's got to look to, disengage from the grappling, potentially.
I'd like to see Costa have head position here. Whoever has head position is going to have an easier job of advancing position. It'll help Costa get an underhook. It would help Shamar secure the takedown.
Winding down here in round number 2. Shamar Williams showing off the relentless pressure against Lucas da Costa right now. Looking to end the round potentially here in that dominant position as well.
Yeah, Shamar Williams here in the driver's seat so far. Just da Costa is having a hard time fighting off the fence.
I heard it. You're good, though.
And those were legal shots right above the belt
Didn't
line.
look like you got hurt off of it, so I heard it.
Barons didn't stop it.
Here in the major pack replay, we see the big hooks coming from Shamar. And look at the load up. Like I said, I would love to see da Costa just throw volume. So he's been very tentative. I think maybe he felt the power. And there was that high kick that it was a great selection. It was a great shot that possibly could have resulted in a knockout win, but good on Shamar to kind of eat the kick and then just go with the momentum to secure the takedown. This is what we saw. I would say most of the round was Shamar able to neutralize and get some control time against the fence, secure his own takedown. Tried to put a hook in, da Costa weary of it, uses the fence to prevent it. .48 strikes to da Costa's 16.
And some ground control time there in the favor of Shamar Williams. Yeah, he's putting in some good work so far here.
Yeah, 5 for 8 takedowns as well for Shamar. This has to be very frustrating for da Costa, but it's going to take him changing it up. If it's, you hear the saying, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But if it is broke, you have to do something. So let's change it up. What you're doing before hasn't been working for the last 10 minutes. If you want to win this fight, you have to change something up.
Let's go.
We know Lucas da Costa is never out of a fight. We'll see if he can make those changes here in round number 3 between he and Shamar Williams. Good entry again by Shamar Williams. Just got a hold of a leg there, Jeff, and took him down.
And that knee was very close to landing. That's another shot that could have been lights out. Again, as Shamar changes levels, he's been caught by a high kick and almost a knee. They're getting awfully close.
Yeah, Lucas is going to have to, get active in that guard again and try to get to the cage or do something to get up.
But I like this more from da Costa. In the first round, he got taken down and closed his guard. Now he's got an open guard and looking to create space, fishing for an underhook to the leg to maybe look for an armbar, create space. But now he's back to a closed guard. A closed guard shows me he does not want to get up. This is you holding your opponent on top of you.
Using the fence a little bit here.
Trying to wall walk.
He is pretty creative off of his back, too. He's going to have to use some of that.
But doing that wall walk, he just took himself off the fence, which favors Williams.
And you can see Williams trying to just take him back a little bit to the center so he can have some better control. Good ground and pound there by Shamar Williams. Da Costa kicks him off. We're back to our feet here with over 3 minutes to work in round number 3.
Williams didn't like what he was seeing. Took some shots from bottom. and allowed DaCosta to get up.
Some good elbows by DaCosta, who is the fresher fighter here in round number 3.
DaCosta letting his hands go a little bit more, throwing in combinations. This is what you need to do.
Sprawled on that one, Jeff, but
DaCosta did the right thing. DaCosta did the right thing initially. Met him with his hip, but then made the mistake of trying to strike in between a takedown sprawl, and that's what cost him the takedown.
DaCosta up to a foot. He's back up to both feet again. He's going to fight the hands here and try to get Shamar Williams off of him. And you can hear the corner of Lucas DaCosta tell him they need a finish. They need a finish. Inadvertent low blow. Barons will call a timeout. He didn't acknowledge it at first. He will call a timeout
over here
and send these fighters to their corners.
It's a grazer. You were backing up, all right? I'm not going to take a point, but I'm going to hard.
In the major pack replay, let's see if we can identify this low blow.
Right? Yeah. It slid this
DaCosta
way,
fishes
right?
for the head.
Blood, but it did hit. So I'm not going to take a point. Right?
Oh,
right?
No,
yeah, looked to be a little low there.
All right, let's keep going.
Hard to kind of see from that angle if that landed on the thigh or the cup, but we'll see.
Good leg kick and a left hand by DaCosta and a high kick. But Shamar is swinging for the fences. Big shots thrown by Shamar.
A little under half a round to work for DaCosta, but Shamar seems to be fatiguing a little bit in what's been a high-paced fight.
Those shots were thrown with bad intentions. 2 minutes to go.
If I'm in DaCosta's corner, I'm telling him no more kicks, just hands.
Just hands. And there's another head kick by DaCosta. Hip to that takedown attempt. He's looking to put some pressure here on Shamar Williams at the end of this fight. Good jab and getting into a takedown of his own. Dumps him.
But here he initiates the grappling and finds himself in a grappling exchange now, which throughout the fight has favored Shamar.
Yeah, got the takedown initially, but almost just as quickly, Shamar was back up to his feet and grappling on his own. But the good thing for Costa is he does have him against the fence here. May try to go for another takedown as he is here. Good base by Shamar.
DaCosta needs a finish, however, so even just winning this third round isn't enough. I would like to see him disengage. You have a guy that looks a bit fatigued from all the grappling. I would try to put it on him with the hands.
Going for one more takedown with an outside trip there. Shamar's been showing, really good takedown defense this whole fight. And stopping the game plan of Lucas DaCosta. Under a minute to work here. DaCosta does disengage. He's going to look to get some striking offense going.
DaCosta needs to put it on, and these last 45 seconds needs to give it everything he's got. High stakes, pro debut.
Good leg kick, followed up by a left hand. Shamar changes levels. And there's the kick. It was grabbed by Shamar.
Shamar does a great job of turning the corner. Hands are locked. He's going for a ride. And Lucas is going to learn from this. When defending a takedown, defend the takedown first before striking.
And there's some heavy elbows from DaCosta. Able to turn him against the cage, but running out of time here. Just 20 seconds to go.
Finally finds that outside trip he's been looking for all fight. But is it too little, too late here?
Big left hand by DaCosta as this one winds down.
We need a big shot here from DaCosta if he wants to win this fight.
Oh!
Ooh, left hook coming right on the mark.
And that is it. A great ending if you're Lucas DaCosta, but was it too little, too late? As Shamar Williams put together a pretty impressive first 2 rounds and even some parts of round number 3 as well.
That's how you want to finish the fight here in the major pack replay. We see that high kick barely missed, and it looked to land more on the chest. From my angle, I thought it did land on the face. We see DaCosta on bottom. He was able to work his way back up from landing strikes from bottom, and maybe Williams was trying to rest on top that third round, was a little fatigued, and then let him up. And then the momentum just shifted. DaCosta kind of smelled some blood in the water with the fatigue of Shamar. And DaCosta really put it on him in the last half of that third round. Stuffs the takedowns and was having more success with the hands. Here we see at the end of the round, Lucas finally lands that outside trip he was looking for all fight. And the reason he was able to land that finally was because he broke the posture of Shamar. Shamar was standing straight up tall. This is the last blitz we saw at the end of the round. Once again, the outside trip, and then short shots to end it. Great third round for Lucas Costa, but is it too little too late?
There's some of our numbers. A lot of control time in the corner of Shamar Williams, excuse me. 8 of 14 on takedowns, 4 minutes of control time, and outstruck the Brazilian in Lucas Costa. We'll take it to Jason Nibbins for the call.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Judge Geary scores the bout 29-28. Judge Miller scores the bout 29-28. And Judge Marquez also scores the bout 29-28. Your winner, by unanimous decision, out of the blue corner, Shamar Williams!
Shamar Williams is your victor tonight. He gets the first win in his professional career, and it was against an impressive prospect in Lucas Costa. He's 1-1, and he made right on his second fight. Lit the fire under him, back in the win column.
29-28 across the board, meaning 2 rounds to 1 with Lucas for sure winning that third round. I think Lucas is going to look back at this fight and be a bit frustrated about what he could have done in those first 2 rounds. And had he put his hands together like he did in that third, he could have been the winner of this fight. I think it's a learning lesson for both. Great on Shamar Williams to bounce back over a tough Lucas Costa. A great way to bounce back from your first loss. And like I said, learning lesson for both. And I'm excited to watch these guys fight again.
You've probably seen it in the UFC, Jeff, of guys that, you know, come back on a third round after losing the first 2. What does it do for you mentally in the training room, I guess, of ending a fight like that?
Yeah, anytime you lose a round and are able to bounce back from it, it kind of shows you what you're made out of. But that type of, I guess, toughness is learned in the training room. These losing rounds, is getting beat up in the gym. There's always going to be someone better than you, bigger than you in the gym. It's learning how to have a hard round and then be able to be successful afterwards. And a big thing we talked about it earlier in the card is adaptation. Changing something up in the middle of chaos, in the middle of war, especially if you trained on something for 10 weeks straight and it's not working. What do you do then?